Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another keto food review, where today, I don't know if I've been more excited about a keto food product than I have been today. Because Lewis Bakery is back into the ring with not one, not two, but 3 new keto products. Something that's been a reigning champion for a little while now, and they're only getting stronger. So let's introduce you to the new contestants. First up, we have cinnamon keto bread, basically a good toast bread, I would say. I'm gonna try it plain and toasted and kind of see how things are with that. 0 net carbs. How is this possible? Well, we're gonna find out. Next up though, we're going into Hawaiian. 0 carb Hawaiian bread. Once again, I don't know how it's really possible, but we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. But then let's not go ahead and stop with a keto loaf of bread. Let's go ahead and put the Hawaiian into a dinner roll. God, I love you. Hawaiian dinner rolls. Essentially a keto King's Hawaiian. 1 net carb, so it's a little bit more expensive than 0, but guess what? 1 carb is a hell of a lot cheaper than probably the 10 that you're looking at per roll from a King's Hawaiian. So I am excited to dig into all of these. I have not tasted any of myself. This was kind of a demo loaf that we had at work, and I am seriously so excited to try these. And I'm going to try them a bunch of different ways and give an honest review on all of them. Not sponsored, not paid. Even though I wish I was. Lewis Bakery, help a hungry guy out. First off, I'm gonna start with cinnamon keto bread. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do half of it, split it right down the middle. And this half I'm going to toast later. First bite. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be a whole new bread entirely. Not the case. It is very much Lewis Bakery's bread. The keto bread. Well, actually, I should say Healthy Life. It's made by Lewis Bakery, but it's the Healthy Life brand. But it's the same exact bread, just with a cinnamon swirl in it. It's very, very good. It's incredibly good. It makes the bread even better, but I want to add a little bit of butter. And this is pre-toasting. Just a little bit of butter changes the flavor entirely. Turns it into something that doesn't even taste keto or diet at all. It actually tasted exactly like real bread. But when you add the butter, the cinnamon goes away. The cinnamon is incredibly weak, and I kind of expected that to be a thing. The cinnamon is there, but it is insanely weak. It's definitely something to change up the bread, and I almost wonder if I was to do this in a sandwich, if it would actually still taste good. You know what? I'm gonna do that. With the other half, I'm gonna add some chicken to it. This doesn't seem right to do a cinnamon swirl bread with chicken, but I'm curious. There's a couple of pinches. Try. The cinnamon comes out a lot more stronger with chicken. So do I recommend that? No, it's not a great combination at all, but it's fine. It's definitely fine. If you ran out of your regular loaf, this would do just fine. But I think that Hawaiian, I'm excited for you. Yeah, that last little bit there of that cinnamon bread, that was good. That was absolutely great. I definitely do prefer that over the regular loaf for sure. But now, I'm sorry, I can't toast anything until I try this, which right off the bat, the color is different. Oh, and might I add, the smell. I always like doing smell tests. The smell test of this is incredibly cinnamony, where this one smells like Wendy's. What the heck? If you were to step inside of a Wendy's, it's pretty much the smell that I'm getting, and I don't know why. I don't know why at all. But I noticed the color. The color is immediately more yellow. I don't know if that's added coloring or what that is, but it has me interested in how much the flavor is going to be affected by any of this. I'm going to go through the same exact steps that I did with the other one. I'm going to do plain, then butter, and then I'm going to do a little bit of chicken. Now, just tasting it alone, whatever they did with this one compared to the old Lewis Bakery one, yeah, it took a lot of that sciencey aftertaste away, which is great. It's absolutely great. Tastes wonderful. The Hawaiian is, once again, following the pattern of the cinnamon. It's weaker, but it's still there. And it's not like a honey taste, it's just like a little bit more sweeter. And I think most people on a ketogenic diet will kind of understand what I mean by it's a little bit on the sweeter side. Kind of like you'll notice like some cookies are sweeter than other cookies, depending on which ones you get, like Fat Snacks and High Key. High Key I think was a much sweeter cookie. It's just that allulose in it. That's way too much butter. Look, for dear God. Okay, not that much. That's probably still too much, but it's better. I love butter, but I don't like too much butter that I can't taste my bread. It's just so good. It's so good. It's hard to believe that it's actually ketogenic and zero carbs. It really is. This Hawaiian is blowing me away. It's definitely my new #1 bread. And I'm almost concerned that this is going to deteriorate the sales of the original one. Because at this point, this one overpowers the original 2-3 times over. Like it's just that much better. And going in for the chicken test. Unlike the cinnamon, the chicken with this one is beautiful. For some reason, the chicken brings out a lot more of the sweetness from this one. And it almost did come off as a little bit more honey-like, like a King's Hawaiian. It is still subtle, but it's there enough where it distracts you from the fact that this is zero carbs. You blindly would not know that this is a zero carb bread. You might be able to be like, there's something going on with it. Maybe it's an off-brand Hawaiian. You might be able to go that route, but there's no way that I think anybody would be able to say that this is a ketogenic Hawaiian bread. It's just absolutely lovely. But is it going to be as lovely as you? Keto Hawaiian roll. And then after I taste you, I'm going to toast these two, and then we're going to come back with final reviews. The only complaint I have about this one is that once you open it, there's not really any resealing it. What the frick? People are not going to agree with me, but it just smells like my local Wendy's. I just don't know. I don't know what it is, but it just tastes like freaking Wendy's. Why? Sorry, smells. Smells like Wendy's. Doesn't taste anything like Wendy's. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So one independently is very decent size. I would say that you could actually use this for a slider if you wanted to. And absolutely feels exactly like a regular old dinner roll. It's very, very soft, very spongy. I'm excited for this. This one I will not be toasting though. I'm just going to... It's hard to peel. It's very hard to peel. I'm going to go ahead and try the top separate, plain. Then I'm going to do the bottom with some butter. Okay, it went further than the Hawaiian loaf went. It's got a lot more of that sweetness in it, and it's fine, but it's not as preferred for me compared to just the regular piece of Hawaiian keto. This is a lot more dense, it's a lot more chewy, and I think it can be good with stuff on it. I may do the chicken. I'm gonna do the chicken test really quick, just with this little piece. It's the chew that's throwing me off, which is making me wonder if I was to stick these in the air fryer for a couple of minutes, if it would develop a different texture altogether and be like a whole new beast. Looks like I'm gonna be cooking you too. So I'm gonna try a little bit here with the butter, like it's intended, I would say. This is the intended way. There we go. Can't help but smile. Wow. As soon as you combine these things with the intended ingredients, it comes together. Having that with butter absolutely works beautifully. Just like having the Hawaiian loaf with the chicken works beautifully. And then I'm wondering how the cinnamon keto is going to do as soon as I take some of that water out of it and put the intended use of toasting it. Well, it's time for me to cook all three of these and add a little bit of butter to all of them, and we'll just kind of see what happens. But this first part was exciting. Can't wait to see how this ends. All right, so I'm gonna go in order as it finished so that way I can eat them as hot as possible. This one did develop a good crunch, so I am interested to see how the dinner roll is affected. Damn! Damn, that's good. That is, holy dear Lord good. In my personal opinion, if you were just to drop the label of Hawaiian and just went with a keto dinner roll, it would absolutely be perfect. Because the Hawaiian is so weak on these, it just takes it to a level of just regular bread. You're bringing that sweetness that normal American bread has, and you're just bringing it to keto. Like, it absolutely is just a beautiful dinner roll. But it's not that Hawaiian. It's just more of just a good old American dinner roll. The Hawaiian comes back on the back end. It is there, but it just, the sweetness that they're adding just takes it to like a regular roll level off of keto. God bless. I'm gonna go and do the final scores as I'm going through these. The keto Hawaiian rolls, 9 out of 10. If you can find these in your local grocery store, get them. Air fry them, butter them up. You will not be sorry. I think if you were to go ahead and do them as a slider, once again, I would air fry them or try doing a toaster cook of them, because when you get rid of that chew, it takes it to the perfect level that you want. It's just a little bit chewy raw. It's kind of like biting into raw dough. It's not necessarily horrible, but I definitely prefer it more cooked. I think that just an air fry, 2 minutes on 400, perfect. Great dinner roll. I will absolutely 100% buy again. Let's go into the cinnamon swirl next. Once again, you kind of dry it out a little bit. You get that base flavor showing a little bit more. The cinnamon does come back out a little bit more. Not too much, but a little bit more. Just enough to, once again, when you use it for its intended use, which is like for a breakfast type thing with butter, this is just absolutely amazing. In fact, I have some keto peanut butter. Half tempted to go get it. No, I'm going to do it in a different episode. I don't want to do it right now because I've never had it. I want to do a keto peanut butter and jelly sandwich episode, so I'm going to save it for that. Just plain though, even just plain, it's good. I definitely prefer it toasted up though. Toasted, buttered. The cinnamon is very, very weak, but once again, it is there enough where you'll be satisfied. Solid 8 out of 10. I'll give an 8 out of 10 to the cinnamon keto. And last but not least, one of my favorites in the show. Gonna try it plain first. I almost think no matter what you do, you'll want to toast this first. It makes the flavor just that much better. It just does. Go into the butter. I just can't help but smile because this is what I've been waiting for a long time. It's not a ketogenic bread. Blindfolded, that is not a ketogenic bread. It tastes so good. It tastes so good. You're my favorite. You know that? You are now my favorite bread. You are 0 carbs. You are a beautiful thing, you. Love you. 9.75 out of 10. Easily. Because that is a great, just plain bread that is ketogenic. It says Hawaiian on it. Like I said, you can get the Hawaiian effect on it if you've been on keto long enough. But if you were to blindly give it to someone, I don't think that they would be able to tell that there's anything off about it, except for maybe like they would claim it's a store brand maybe. But it tastes so much just like regular bread. And I've been waiting to be able to be on a ketogenic diet, be able to have regular bread. Because as soon as you have regular bread and you can start messing around with that, you can start doing keto stuffings, you can start doing different BLTs, you could start doing, this with a grilled cheese. Oh, that's gonna be great. But I think it's time for the original loaf to move over. This Hawaiian is just gonna rule it. It's gonna just take over. With the butter, it's just amazing. It just is. And without the butter, it's just a good toasted piece of bread. It tastes just perfect. It's so wonderful. It's so wonderful. Like I said, 9.75 for the Hawaiian keto rolls, 9 out of 10 for the dinner rolls, and then for the cinnamon, we're going with an 8 for 3 new products. That is just absolutely beautiful. Healthy Life / Lewis Bakery, thank you for what you do for the keto community. Now, whether any of this is going to kick me out of ketosis or not, I have no idea, but all I know for sure is that these are all beautifully delicious products if you're on a ketogenic diet, for the love of God, or actually just anything in general. This bread is just great. Because like the Hawaiian loaf, for example, is only 35 calories a slice, only 1 gram of fat, and you have 9 carbohydrates. Oh, it doesn't have allulose listed. That's why it's 0 net carbs. Anyways though, only 35 calories a slice. If you go over here to the cinnamon one, you're looking at 40 per slice. And when you're looking at the dinner rolls themselves, you're looking at 50 per slice. It's just healthy no matter what diet you're on, or if you just are wanting to watch your caloric intake a little bit, go with that Hawaiian. That Hawaiian is absolutely delicious. I will never ever buy a different loaf other than that one, potentially for even when I get off of the diet and I reach my goal. I mean, it is just that good. Absolutely, go try it for yourself. Like I said, not sponsored, but I wish I was, because that is absolutely beautiful and amazing. Try it for yourself. I promise you will not be disappointed. But that is going to do it for this episode, though, everybody. Hopefully you guys enjoyed and hopefully you guys learned something. I'll see you guys back here in the next Keto Food Review episode. Good night.